And I spoke with the man of the hour, Sharvil Patel, Managing Director of Zydus Cadila. Sharvil Patel, congratulations. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight. You know, there are many firsts to this vaccine, from being a DNA vaccine to a non-needle based. And what really is most exciting is that this is the first COVID-19 vaccine to be available to kids above the age of 12 in India. How did that happen? Did you always intend to make a vaccine for kids?
So yes, I think there were the reasons when we went through the selection process of what platform we should make a choice on. We had looked at multiple factors. We did look at the factor that this being the coronavirus, we would see rapid mutations that we'll get to see in the virus, which would mean we need a platform that can be rapidly adapted to the new strains. Second part of it was, which was very important, is that when we all knew that efficacy will take longer. We were definitely needing to make sure that the safety profile was good, because we are going to give it to a large number of people, and the safety became a very paramount interest. And now there is enough publications both by the WHO and the US FDA on the safety of the DNA platform. The third was, we were very excited about the point that this was the first dosing which would be without a needle. So this will be done through an application which is needle free. So a lot of vaccine hesitancy or any hesitancy is also driven because of, causes of needle injection or blood. And I think this removes that side effect of at least worrying for patients, children, adults, whoever are in that period of time. So I think looking at all of that, because of the safety of the platform, it doesn't have any vector-based immunity, because of the fact that it can be delivered without a needle, and it can be rapidly, updated towards a new variant. We were able to do so, and that's why the regulators also believe that testing it for adolescent population was good, because in all our earlier trials we had seen very minimal to no safety signals that were worrisome. So that gives us the confidence to move into the 12 to 18 years, and in the future they move into the 3 year plus age group also.
But were you focusing on a vaccine for kids, given the fact that this is the only age group that in India for whom we don't have a vaccine so far, and that's also why our schools haven't been able to open up?
So I think when any vaccine development is started by any of us, the whole point is you need to go through phases. You need to test it on a population which is less risky, which is the adult population. And then you incrementally add towards a more vulnerable population, which is different age groups, comorbidities and other things. So as I said, as the development continued, as a phase 1, phase 2 moved forward, we had also certain set of, possibilities and signals that we saw that this is very safe for the younger age group also. And that's why we focused to make sure that while we create the large cohort of 28,000 subjects to be administered, we will create a cohort of at least 1,000 plus adolescent population of 12 to 18 to cover also, which we succeeded, and we overshot by another 400. So because a lot more, obviously there was a need to do so also. So that's how the whole progress of this vaccine has happened.
And I'm not sure if you've had any of these talks with the government in terms of supply, but do you think that when this vaccine is out and available, it should be prioritized for students, because there are other vaccines for adults, but no other vaccines in the market that kids can take? So we haven't had the discussion yet. Logically, yes, obviously there has to be certain amount of doses that should be prioritized for the 12 to 18, because as you said, there is no vaccine available for them. Having said so, while if you look at for the adult population, there are only 2 options today really which are available, which is obviously the Covaxin and Covishield. So from that point of view, and there is disproportionate amount of quantity that's available by one versus the other. So I think the adults also need a choice, because I do know of a lot of adults who still believe they want to make a choice on which platform they want to test or take. So I don't know if everything can be allocated to the adolescent, but I think that discussion needs to happen with the center and the vaccine task force, which will then finally make the outcome as to where we can target towards. But logically, it will be obviously a large proportion of that will be, I should believe, would go to the 12 to 18 year age group. So by that, because you're saying you want this also to be an option for adults across India, are you saying then you are confident that you can supply enough doses to cater to both a demand from adults
and the student population in India?
No, I think for the size and scale of our population, I don't have the capacity or the capability in the next 3 to 4 months to supply to every. I mean, it depends what you need, but it's obviously we are talking about only 1 crore doses a month, which is definitely not the requirement. The requirement is far larger than that. So I think one fact that we need to now solve for is, can we scale it up and see how we can make more than 1 crore doses a month? And that discussion we will also have now with the center and the vaccine task force also. But as I said, currently we are, I wish we could produce more, but currently our capacities with the new plant and the new investments is about 1 crore to maybe we can stretch to 2 crore over a period of time in a month.
A reality check there. Mr. Patel, how soon can we expect this in the market?
So as I said, it's a lot of things need to happen. We need to have audits that need to go through well. We need to make sure that we finish the sterility test, and we also need to go through CDL testing, which is 14 days. So if everything goes as clockwork, we can see sometime mid to end September, the doses starting to be made available. And the full scale up, we believe by middle to end October is where we can see the full scale up of the rollout.
Certainly music to all of our ears, given the fact that Indians have only vaccinated about 9% of our population so far. But have you decided on a price?
No, because it's a price is a math. We need to discuss what would be the center's policy to buy and procure and what quantities they would like to procure. And also we will also need to discuss with them in terms of which age group and others. So I think those discussions have not honestly started. We have not even had one round yet. So it's very difficult to talk about pricing, but I think one thing we are very clear on, that we will make it definitely affordable. Our track record and history has been that we have made, when we launched HCQ or Remdesivir, we did prices at the lowest in the country, and we believe that we will also make this affordable, but every platform and technology is different. So I think that discussion is still needs to happen.
All right. And lastly, Mr. Patel, did you also specifically work on storage and temperatures to make it suitable for Indian conditions?
No, I think that again was the decision on the selection of the platform last year in March when we started working on it. We made a choice that our priority was to supply to India always, that our home market is something that we would make sure that we supplied first to. And when we looked at that, obviously supply chain and cold chain distribution was the most critical aspect because in the vaccine space. So this platform is very thermostable. And definitely obviously it can be stored at refrigeration temperature at 2 to 8. It can definitely be kept for at least 3 months at 25 degrees and it doesn't get spoiled. We know about the freeze thaw, when if you by mistake freeze the vaccine and if you thaw it again, it can still be used effectively without any challenge. And there are multiple other studies of open the vaccine and kept it for 4 hours and if you're still okay to use it. So it's an extremely thermostable vaccine, which will be good in terms of less vaccine wastage and other things that lead to because of the cold chain requirements.
Sharvil Patel, thank you, congratulations, and we wish you more strength to deliver on all of your promises. Thank you.